Hello and welcome to another edition of Sunny Days videos. Well, what have we got for you today? Here we are. This is a Sharp VC-381H. This was probably the first front-loading machine that Sharp actually made. Probably. It's in very good condition, as you can see here, complete with its original service owner's manual. I was going to say service manual, but I've actually got the service manual for this. And a very rare product which you don't actually see that often. A wired remote control. Now this was in the era where infrared wasn't really that much of a king. So this is how it was done back in the day. So you would plug this into the back of your VCR or at the front of the VCR, wherever it was located, and you could change the functionality of your VCR at the comfort of your sofa. So that was pretty big in 1980s. So today what we will do, we'll have a look at this and we'll see where we are on this one. Now, as I've had one of these before, I've got a spare service kit available here. Now here we have a complete set of spare parts. So we have a full belt kit. It's not actually for this model, but I'm sure that I can get some parts out of it. We've got an incandescent lamp. Yes, it's incandescent. It's not an infrared, because it's from the era where infrared was not really, widely used in VCRs. What we have also is the idlers and the back tension band, and we have a pinch roller. Here we are, we have a pinch roller. What have we here? This is the idler tire. Okay. This is one of these is probably not for this model. There's two versions. This is probably not for this model. I probably have bought this spare for something else. Well, we'll find that out once we undo this one. And what else do we have here? Probably this is another idler tire. Yeah, because I bought two of them. So that's another idler tire. So one of these ones will actually go in there. So I can't remember which one's which. So we'll just have to take it apart and have a look at it. So we'll power this up and we'll have a look at the functionality of it and see whether it actually works after all these years. If it does work, if it just needs a little bit of service, we'll give it that service. We'll change the belts if we can, if we've got all the belts available. Pinch roller, idler tire. Okay, and we have a look at the loading mechanism on here, because a lot of the time on these ones, the cassette loader was the issue. Now, twice I've had the same problem where a couple of tabs on the loading carriage have actually broken, and once that breaks, because it's plastic, once that breaks, then the carriage is unusable. You can't use that, you've got to replace the part. Obviously parts in 2021 are very, very rare for these models. So yeah. Oh, and they also give you a motor pulley as well, which I probably won't use this, but right. So, without further ado, as we always do before powering anything up, we have a look inside and see the function. You know, the state of it. I've got to put a plug on it as well because I haven't got a plug on this one. So I've even got the full service manual as well. No, it's not service. I keep saying service manual. Owner's manual printed for this. So that will come in useful one day. Right. And there's always one underneath the flaps. So let's remove this. Now here we are sure to see a lot of circuit boards, a lot of wires and stuff. Not what you normally see in a modern VCR. In an older version like this you'll see a lot of electronics. So let's open it up. Here we are. Let's just move you slightly forward if I can so you can see what I'm doing here. There we are. So here is our video recorder. Now these are the tabs here which break off. This one here. I don't know whether you can see that quite clearly or not, but on this one we don't have this problem. On this one we're actually alright on this one. So I think we've got to remove these two screws to flip this board up so we can have a quick look at the head drum, because I always have a look at the head drum. Okay, so we have to push this back and this comes off here. So this looks like the chroma board, so this is obviously the part of the picture. So obviously what Sharp haven't done is put some kind of stopper on there so that it doesn't swing down. You see, I can't hold it up. The only way to actually hold this up is to actually put something across there like that so that it stays up like this. So let's take off the shield and have a look at the head drum, which seems to be quite reasonable. Seems to be in reasonable condition. All the rollers seem to be alright. Pinch roller as well. The capstan shaft is really dirty on here, so that will have to be addressed. We've got a light bulb in there as well. Yeah, it looks in pretty good nick. But will it work? Well, this is going to be a good one. So we've got the tuner on this side, we've got the power supply at the back, and mechanism on the left hand side. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to put a plug on it first of all, because I haven't got one on this. So let's do that then, shall we? Okay, so I'll have to probably undo a little bit of it. So in this video what we'll do is we'll power it up and we'll see whether it actually works or not. If it works well and good, we'll connect it to the television and see whether we get picture and sound, obviously in good quality. And in another video what we'll do is we'll do servicing on there. So we'll get the belts changed, the tape path all cleaned up, pinch roller changed. We'll give it a once over just to make sure. Power supply seems to be one of the earlier versions. This plug's a bit loose, maybe not. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a plug on it first of all. So let's push this back. All those parts that I've shown you, we'll see which ones of those actually come in useful. And we can change, because I can see some of these belts are actually quite thick type and I don't think they've included. As I said, the belts that I have are not really for this model, but I know a lot of Sharps actually used a very similar mechanism, so we can interchange the belts between them, because I don't think I was able to get the correct belts for this model. So I had to find something very similar, and as I said, we probably will have to find some belts. It might even work, you never know, because these VCRs are actually quite reliable, to be honest with you. And the good news is that I've actually got a spare one of these, which I'm going to strip for parts. So we'll have one more video for me actually breaking that up. Obviously I'll power it up beforehand and see what it does. But I do have one which I can strip for parts. It's always good to have spare parts just in case you need them, because a lot of my videos in the past, as you see, the VCRs that I've repaired, you need spare parts, and if you haven't got spare parts you're truly buggered, to be honest with you, because something that's over 40 years old, the parts are not really available anymore. But now, as shops are closing, repair shops are closing, people are selling them on eBay, so people are actually selling them, so you know, and for a ridiculous price as well. And I mean, all that I've got it for £2. I mean, that's quite a bargain for something that obviously they're not original, but I mean they will do the job, unless I hope so. So let's get a plug on this first of all. There is a power switch on the back of this, so I'm going to make sure that that's switched on, because if I don't get power, then that's the first thing that I should be looking at. Always ensure that whenever you're wiring a plug, that the actual screws are actually tight, because whatever this lead was used in, the screws were completely loose in there. I was watching Clive James yesterday on the television. Doing one of his old programs, all the postcards that he used to do. Basically they were short videos, maybe 50 minutes of places that he's visited, and you know, it's quite enjoyable to watch. He was a good guy, Clive James. You know, made a lot of people laugh, and you know, what's happening here? No. Nope. I've always had problems with the idlers on these ones, so it's a good thing that I've actually got spare idlers and spare parts for this, because guaranteed I'll be needing them. Right, so the fuse has just gone under there, so get this off. And we've actually got a flap under here, tracking, picture, tone and still tracking as well, so you know we've got a fair bit going on there. And this has more than most of the VCRs were, including back in the days. Right, so I've tightened up all the screws. So without further ado, we'll power it up and see whether it goes bang or whether it actually works. Right, so we've got a clock which is quite dim, but we have got one. So it has powered up. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but right, so that's a good sign. Okay. The lamp isn't lighting. I don't know whether the lamp isn't lighting, so I don't know whether that's supposed to be normal or not, but I'm sure that the lamp should be lighting up. I did not hear any motor sound whatsoever. So here we are, we're going to put our first tape in. Right, okay, so it's accepted the tape, which is a good sign. Pass forward. Nothing. Rewind. Nothing. Playback. Nothing. Right. Will it eject the tape? Right, so it ejects the tape. So there's no functions, but this lamp is not lighting. So I have a feeling that we've got a burnt out incandescent lamp in there. So let's power it up again. Right, so it accepts the tape, but absolutely no functions whatsoever. Right. Okay, so the first port of call on this would be to look at that lamp and see whether we have continuity with the lamp, because when you have this scenario where the tape is actually inserted but it doesn't do anything else, the first thing to do is look at the incandescent lamp. Another way of doing it is obviously trying to load the tape without actually the tape in there. So there's a switch on the end here, so you'll press that. Right, I can't see that lamp and nothing else happens. I have a feeling we have a burnt out lamp. Yeah, I do have a feeling we've got a burnt out lamp on this. So I think probably the first thing we probably need to do is to find out whether we're getting any voltage on that lamp or not. So what we'll have to do here, we'll have to take the front panel off, we'll have to take the cassette loader out to access that. I mean, there's no way that I can actually access that like this, but yeah. So I think what we'll do, we need to give it a once over, so I will have to see the state of the belts inside as well. So I know what the problem is. The problem is the lamp is gone on there. So what we're going to do, is I'm just going to open the bottom up. Let's unplug it now because we don't need it to be plugged in. Yeah. I want to have a look at this at the bottom as well and see whether what state the belts are in at the bottom. If I can. I know these ones weren't really that easy to access. Let's move you back a slight bit. So we've got 3 screws. On the back here. Now just want to have a look at the state of the belts in there. Not that it really matters, but I just wanted to see what's under there. There'll be a massive circuit board under there for a start, for a sure. Okay, you can see there's a circuit board as big as the actual VCR. So and I think we've got to remove the front panel. We've got probably a couple of screws holding this together. So we probably have to remove the front panel as well off it. These old VCRs were actually very component intensive. There was a lot going on in there. Right, so now we've removed the front panel to reveal. Here we are. There's the front panel. So now, if I'm not mistaken, we can probably have access to remove this, well, not remove, but to actually flip this circuit board up so we can actually have a look inside and see whether we have any, what the state of the belts are in there. Tab there, and we've got a tab here. Right, and we've got to remove this plug. That should make it right. Okay, here we are. Blimey, there's a fair bit going on in there, isn't there? Don't you love it when you have all these so you've got one belt under here. Let me just move it round so you can actually see what I'm doing. Don't you love the intensity of the there we are. there's our mechanism. I don't know whether you can see that. There's a date code on here. April 83. Ooh. 5th of April 1983. That's how old this beast is. So we have a capstan belt here, which seems to be in reasonably good condition. It's not stretched or damp. Well, it's probably stretched a little bit, but it's not that bad. We have a loading motor here. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but we have a loading motor here which controls the loading arms, the loading mechanism. That's the idler motor. These two are the electronic brakes. Yeah, so it seems to be in pretty good nick at the moment. I can't see any negativity from in there. But what the negativity I can see is that it needs at least an hour just to refurbish it. So what we're going to do for now, we're going to put this back together very lightly, not all the screws, but just very lightly, so that in the next episode what I'm planning to do is I think I should have put that on first. Okay. Take that apart and get all the belts sorted out, but I mean, it would have been nice if I could have got some kind of tape movement from there, but it looks like we've got a oh, I've just noticed something. We've actually got here a cassette in switch. I think what might be a good idea is for me to actually press that cassette in switch and see whether that lamp actually it could even be the switch itself which is faulty. It could even be the switch itself. So what might be a good idea is for me just to power it up again. Okay, so it's on, right. Get something to press that switch by. Probably with is the right word. No, we're not getting anything. Nope. Yeah, I do suspect that I do suspect this lamp which has gone in there. I do suspect that it could be that this lamp is what's the fault. It obviously is doing something. Yeah, I think we need to change that lamp. So what we will do is I would have actually liked it to actually done something, but changing the lamp isn't really that difficult if you know what you're doing. Obviously I've got replacement lamps for it, but when VCRs were actually sent back to the service departments to repair faults like this, they really did used to charge a lot of money just for that lamp to be changed, because the amount of work you have to do already, as you can see what I've done so far, taking the top off. I didn't really need to take the bottom off because this tape carriage could have come off without it, but it's just easier. I would have to take this carriage off. What I do actually want to do quite quickly is just have a quick look at whether it is actually the where is the lamp actually going, because that's where I have to actually solder it back onto it. Where is the lamp? Where is the lamp on here? Right. So the two white wires. Jesus Christ! They don't actually make it very easy, do they? Yeah, this will definitely have to be on another video, because I have to somehow get into the back of here to actually get this lamp actually out. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to put it back very lightly with the minimum amount of screws, and the rest of the screws can go into a bag. And on the next episode, what we will do, whenever we get that chance, is to remove the tape carriage off here. Try to get that what I can possibly do is just undo these screws, just to lift this mechanism out slightly, just ever so slightly, so that I can access this. I wonder where does this go? I just want to know, where does this lamp actually go? Oh right, okay. It's right at the back there. They haven't really made it any easy. They haven't really made it easy, have they? To change the lamp on here. I know on some VCRs it was just a 5-minute job. But the lamp is actually located, the wires are actually, they're not plugged in, they're actually soldered on. Which is a shame, because I did actually just wanted to pull the lamp actually out, but to even do that I still have to remove the front loader on here. I would have still have to remove the front loader on here just to get the lamp out. So possibly what I'm thinking is, if we remove this earth wire first of all. Oh my days, so hard. Right, okay, remove that one, put that to the side so it doesn't go anywhere near the head drum. Undo this plug here, okay, and undo this plug here. We don't really need to undo this one, but might be a good idea just to remove both. So now now what we've got, LMP, right, but what's, so how many connections have I actually got going onto this board? I haven't got that many, so possibly if I can remove this board just to give me some access in there, then it would be nice. Okay guys, I'm going to put this back together very lightly because it's obviously not going to, you know, I would have liked it just for it to power up, you know, just to actually do something other than just to power up, but it looks like that this is going to take a lot longer. Okay, this is obviously going to take much longer than this to sort out, so we'll have to give it another session. Where was this then? Oh, it was probably under here where this plug is sitting. So if I just move this plug to the right here, is that where it was? Well, we can leave this out for now because we're going to be opening this anyway. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put the front panel back in. Okay. The good thing is that the tape loader actually works, because I've had two of these which have had faulty tape loaders because of people bashing the tape in and damaging the actual tape carriage. get this in again. Probably have to put 2 screws on there because it's got sorry, my hand's in the way. See, what I'm going to show you is how long it actually takes to actually change the lamp on one of these, but because all I've done now is just test it and have a quick look inside. It is a little bit dusty, but that can be blown out. Right, I've actually put it on very lightly so it's easy just to remove it. I'm not going to put all the screws in. It will have to come out at some point again. Okay, we're going to make sure we don't rip the front because we've only got 1 screw holding it. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock now, so that's when I stop. I'll try very hard to do everything properly and to the best of my ability to show you guys how to change a lamp on here and how long it actually takes. If you do the job properly, then it will take a fair bit of time. That's why on this video what I wanted to do was just to have a quick power up and to see what the actual machine does. So thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you very soon in the next episode when we are going to tear this VCR down to get that lamp out. We'll test the lamp with the ohm meter. We'll also make sure, if we can do it, have a look whether there is voltage going on the lamp or not, but there probably is. I think what the problem here is we've got a burnt out incandescent lamp, and for something like that, if it's done properly, it will take a fair bit of time. We've got to take the front loading mechanism out, we've got to take the front out, obviously front out first, from the bottom as well. You know, it's a fair bit of work just to get into it, and that will be very exciting. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.